Hi, my name is Johnny, and I'm addicted to my phone. It all starts with admitting that you got a problem. And I know this is kind of sounding like an A&A meeting, but have some self-awareness. Say it! Say it! Alright, cool, welcome. What up, fellas? It's your boy Johnny, and I normally make videos on my take on men's fashion, but this is a lifestyle channel, and I'm just here to share some things that have improved my life. So, serious question though. How many times have you checked your phone today? How many times have you checked your phone in the past hour? There are a ton of articles that say, on average, we check our phones at least 80 to 300 times a day. That's insane. And that is because we live in a world that is so connected. Connected to the point that people have forgotten how to communicate without having to be behind a keyboard. It's kind of sad. And that used to be me. But an even bigger problem is how much it can distract us from doing our work, uploading YouTube videos, and even just having a genuine conversation with a human being. Now, after a few months of trial and error, I'm going to give you guys some tips that have helped me overcome my phone addiction and get clean. Let's get into it. This first tip is my biggest game changer for cutting down the amount of time I check my phone, or even how long I use it, and that is to turn off your notifications. You might be saying, why? I say shut up and let me explain. Nothing stimulates you quicker than a vibration or a ding from your phone. It instantly takes your mind off what you were doing at that moment, and then you ask yourself who was that or wonder what kind of notification was. So all you gotta do is go to your settings, turn off notifications to literally everything. Every single app you can, maybe except for calls and your text messages, but do as many apps as you can. I even mute almost all of my group chats. Because first off, you don't need to reply to anyone instantly. In fact, I find it more weird if you reply instantly. Second, it's a headache seeing 15,000 emails. Jesus, Johnny, check your emails. Third, you lower your chances of even checking your phone in the first place. And finally, if you want to see the notifications, you can just check the app itself. That's the goal of all these tips, lowering your chance of even wanting to grab your phone and reducing screen time overall. Besides, nothing is more rude than when people are constantly checking their phones, or if their phones are constantly blowing off when you guys are kicking it. So I promise you, man, turn them off. I'm not opposed to you turning off my notifications. Please keep them on. But if you do turn off my notifications, at least follow me on Instagram at FlyWithJohnnyTy so you can stay updated on when I post. Second tip is stop caring about likes. Look, man, I used to be that kid that would always want validation, and I would always post pictures of my physique on my Instagram just so I can get notified with likes, blah, 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 blah. Fitness isn't my career. Insecurities, everyone's got them, and that was mine. I needed validation for my hard work, and a lot of people are actually like this. Now, after following the tip from before, and then the others later on in this video, I could care less about validation from strangers. If you're gonna value yourself by how many likes you get, we need to have a conversation. I mean, likes are cool and all, it's cool to get more and more likes here and there, but don't base your life around that. After I stopped caring about that, I stopped using Instagram as much. In fact, I barely even post. You know, I should post more because it is my job. Yeah, I really should. Besides, people don't like getting bombarded by ads. People always trying to make their life so perfect. And insecure people always face tuning their pictures, blah, 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 blah. Stop caring about likes. Now, the next tip I got for y'all is to delete or rearrange your apps. So like I said earlier, you're gonna wanna lower the chances of you grabbing your phone as much as you can. And deleting apps and rearranging my apps has really helped me with that. So here's my phone. I have nothing on the first page besides my most important app, you know, camera, FaceTime, App Store, weather, all that. I don't even have social media on there, and it's my job. And you don't need it either. So in order for me to use social media, which are the most addicting apps, I have to swipe, which is one extra step, tap the folder, which is another step, and sometimes I have to swipe inside that folder to access the other apps, which is another step, then tap the app if I want it open. See how many steps that is versus just having it on your home page? Try it out, it's definitely worked for me because your boy is lazy. And this applies to everything on your phone. Declutter all of it so you only have to swipe just one time to access your other apps. Because I know all y'all do this when you're feeling uncomfortable. You pull out your phone, you swipe through the pages even though you have nothing to look at, just so it looks like you're doing something. Well, for me, I can only swipe one time. And when I look at my phone, it's just less cluttered, and that is less that your brain has to think about. Now for my Android fellas. I'm sorry you have an Android. Just kidding, I got one too. There's an app drawer, and you just gotta put your important ones on the home page, and that's it. Leave all your social medias in the app drawer, so you have to go to the app drawer, scroll all the way down to the app, and tap it to open. Add some obstacles, and then delete apps. Delete any of the shit that you don't use. Because if you can access it on a computer, you probably should delete it. Now this is just ideal. Obviously, I can't even do that, but if you can, delete it. Next tip is pretty obvious, but also one of the hardest things to do. Like, harder than Wrong Side of the Tracks or that stupid ass Zero mission in San Andreas.
All we had to do was follow the damn train, CJ.
Keep your phone away from you. I know it's gonna be hard, it's a challenge, but keep it away from you because it is a known distraction. Now what I've been doing a lot is not charging my phone before I go to bed. That way I wake up, my phone is already almost dead. That way I can knock out my most important task by leaving my phone charging in another room. Just give it a shot, challenge yourself because it gets easier and easier the more that you do it. Now last but not least, is force it. So typically, force it isn't really a good phrase with anything. You may break something, you might catch a Me Too, but in this case, it's a good thing.
Just
force it. I like to think of it like working out. It's like progressive overload. You're constantly trying to push how much stress you put on your muscles in order for them to grow, whether that be lifting heavier weights, doing slower reps, or increasing the intensity. Same thing with your phone, only you're trying to put more stress on your do not touch the phone muscle. Because the more you use this muscle, the more stress you put on it, the stronger it gets, and the less of an urge you have to grab your phone. Think about it. It's comforting just to check your phone while you're in line at the grocery store, at the coffee shop, and that is the moment you want to use your don't touch that phone muscle. If you're still struggling with all this, you can trick your brain to try and reduce your amount of screen time throughout the day. At one point, I was on my phone for 10 hours a day. 10 hours. That is absolutely ridiculous. So try and use your computer whenever you can, because when you're on a computer, you have to type in all the keys to get to a site versus just tapping in an app on your phone. And even on the computer, there's less distractions and you don't get as much notifications as you do on your phone. Because when you do this, it will allow you to be present with your mind in whatever the situation you're in. You can think better, you're more creative, and you're also just genuine because you're not being a dick and just being on your phone all the time. Now, if you're working on your own projects or you got an essay, but you still struggle and still get distracted by your phone, just remember what your priorities are and it'll be easier to let go of your phone and get your shit done. This is what I tell myself. Nobody's gonna do it for you, so do it yourself. Alright fellas, I hope this video helps. I know it's not one of my typical videos on my take on fashion, or even just a regular personal development video. All I care about is to help you guys out. And doing this has helped me out with my relationship with social media, and just humans in general. I can be at more peace with myself, focus on my work, and generate more ideas. Because the problem with kids nowadays is they struggle with being bored. They constantly need to be stimulated, and they don't know how to sit down in one place for even 10 minutes. So if you haven't already, follow my Instagram at Fly with Johnny Ty for some outfit pics. Give this video a like for the YouTube algorithm, please. And subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. And until then, stay fly, stay animosity free, stay off your phone, and I'm out, bro. Peace.